WWE Smackdown is going live starting July 19th on the USA Network at its normal time, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern, or for me in the Central Time Zone, 7 to 9. And this is a huge announcement. Now, before I get started, this is an absolutely great thing. I do want to bring up two big things. WWE won't be able to pipe in chants anymore or boos from the crowd that isn't moving. And second, WWE's got to be careful here. I'm not saying they can't run a live SmackDown. They've done it before. Like I said, I'm praising this move. It's just seeing some of the stuff that happened recently, and thank goodness it was a tape show, like Ric Flair telling Natalya to kill herself in the heat of the moment. You won't be able to, well, you can mute it, but it's going to take a little bit of practice. So I'm glad they're giving a little bit of time so people can get ready. They can get ready to do the promotion, the campaign, the switch, so people know it's going live. I think this is a very good thing. Now, WWE has posted a video on Twitter talking about Stephanie and Shane talking back and forth that SmackDown needs a strong leader. So it does seem like they are hinting towards a brand split. I don't necessarily know if it's a brand split or more of the fact that they could do two different types of shows that aren't maybe necessarily competing against each other, but have different audiences. And it'll be interesting to see, because if a brand split is true, a lot of people probably won't be on Raw anymore that you know and love. And you'll have to watch SmackDown. Now, SmackDown's ratings really aren't that bad. They're bringing in like 2.1 to 2.3 million. Pretty respectable for a Thursday night. Moving to Tuesday, they are now competing with TNA Impact in the same exact time zone, or time slot, which it'll be interesting, and I posted the tweet on Twitter, of course, about Dixie Carter, the live. Look at her crying. I don't know if it necessarily have an effect on that. I will say, though, that the TNA ratings do show like 280,000 or 300,000, but the DVR numbers are about 500,000. Same thing with Raw and SmackDown. You're going to shoot up a DVR, but we don't ever get to see those numbers because networks don't release them. With SmackDown moving to Friday, though, I think this is a very, very good thing. See what I did there? It's not moving to Friday. You're going to have to worry about some of the live stuff, because there's a lot of stuff that does get retaped on SmackDown, which, like I said, there's nothing that would stop them from being consummate professionals and just know it. It'll just take a mindset to realize, oh, man, if I screw up, I can just redo it. Well, no, you can't, because it's live now. I think it'll be pretty interesting to see how this works ratings-wise, whether it'll help, because, like I said, moving to Tuesdays, it's kind of an unproven thing. It'll be brand new. But I think the fact that it's on USA and not Sci-Fi is the big thing. I think the reason SmackDown could never go live on Sci-Fi is because the ratings just weren't there and it didn't make sense for the WWE. If you look at a lot of USA shows now, and this is where people don't realize, like, US Raw is a big deal for the USA Network. Those 3 million views may look like, wow, fuck it, it's not the Attitude Era 9 to 10 million people, but TV viewing audiences have changed. John Cena's show on Fox Television, the big three networks, brings in less than 2 million people. Most shows on USA used to get, my favorite shows, because USA was my favorite TV network, because of Burn Notice, In Plain Sight, what else? Suits. Like all my favorite shows are on USA Network for the most part. Not recently, in the last 3 to 4 years, I thought they've kind of sucked. I don't watch Chris Lee. I don't watch stuff like that. But those ratings aren't even near 3 million. So WWE does good numbers. As much as we look at it from a wrestling perspective going, okay, yeah, they're doing horrible ratings. Not for USA, they're not. And that's something that people need to keep in mind. But now the fact that they're on SmackDown, will we ever see it be dropped off due to bad numbers? I mean, I think that's something to keep in mind. I think in WWE's mind, doing a brand split is a way to energize stuff, because you could have a show that is more, SmackDown usually is a lot more wrestling compared to segments. There usually is, if you look at the match list, they almost fit in as much in 2 hours as Raw does in 3 hours, which is kind of sad, but it keeps it moving along. The biggest thing about this for me is I won't have to listen to spoilers anymore. I'll be able to DVR it and then decide not to watch it afterwards. I kid. Mauro Ranallo really is an absolute beast. And if you don't like him, man, that's your personal opinion. I get it. But for me, he brings a match to life. Like, one of his first nights there, that I was listening to him. There was an absolute match that meant absolutely nothing between Kalisto and Del Rio. And he turned it into something I was like, damn, okay, I want to see who wins this now. You know what I mean? So Morrow has the gift of gab, the gift of jab, stealing that from Enzo Amore. He knows what he's doing. He's a consummate professional, and I'm glad for him because I think out of all this news, this just maybe the throne is lining up, and I don't think Michael Cole is bad by any means. I just think when you compare the two, they're two different, completely separate entities. But the fact that Morrow is now going live and I can hear him, and, you know, I don't have to worry about not listening to his commentary because I read the match spoilers. Do you know what I mean? Like, my favorite part is listening to Morrow tell the story because what we see in the ring is only one part of it. The reason JR was so successful and Jerry the King Lawler was because even if it wasn't good, he could make you believe it. Like, some basic move could happen. By God, he killed him! And then you were just sitting there like, oh my God, he actually like killed him. Or, holy crap, that's a big move. And that's what Morrow does. So to bring that and revitalize SmackDown on a Tuesday night, hopefully a lot more people tune in. Because I will say this. Moving is a smart thing. Moving live is a smart thing. Because I can't tell you how many times that, and I don't think SmackDown ratings fluctuate because of spoilers. I think that we as the IWC read those spoilers and say, oh, it's a crap show, I'm not going to watch. But the ratings don't fluctuate based on a crap show spoilers. Ratings fluctuate like they do for every show they do based on the week-to-week, what's going on TV. If Raw dips, SmackDown usually dips, you know, etc. So I don't necessarily think spoilers change anything in viewing habits, especially for the common audience, because I don't think people are necessarily searching out those spoilers. But now that it's not being able to be spoiled, now that we are going live, and if you guys know the Hammer, Marcus Stevenson, former community manager, he said, I bet $100 anybody that The Rock shows up for The Rock show, which true, probably will. And then I said we should parlay it into them making a commercial like they did for the 3-hour Raw or the SmackDown moving to Thursdays, plus at least 2 title matches to make the show feel important. That's just kind of what I thought. And it's interesting to know that this is happening after the Cruiserweight series. It is May 25th right now. So this is a little bit over 2.5 months, 1.5 months, excuse me, till it's going to be going into effect. So we're about 6 weeks away, roughly, maybe 7. And in that short time period, WWE can really start to build things up and change things. Now, some people, like I just brought up Marcus, and said, maybe Roman can be the SmackDown champion? Yeah. Which, if WWE does believe Roman Reigns is the guy to carry the company, what better opportunity than to take him off Raw, to do a title split or something, to have Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose face each other, and then, like, they have at Money in the Bank a double pin, where they're both laid out, they both got their arms on each other, they can't figure it out, so the Authority comes out and goes, here's your title, here's your title. Roman, get the fuck off my show and you're going to SmackDown. And then you can see, if the WWE is so high up on Roman Reigns, if he's their top guy, what better opportunity for the WWE, the guy that they think is going to draw money, that puts asses in seats, than to headline and be the guy on your new show that is live on TV. If you believe in WWE, if WWE believes in Roman Reigns that much, they would have Roman Reigns run the show. Now, in the past, we've heard that Daniel Bryan has said, put me on SmackDown, let me be the SmackDown guy. I want to be the top SmackDown guy. Let me go off Raw. I will go over and do SmackDown. Dolph Ziggler has kind of said the same thing. This will give other people an opportunity in a way that a brand split may be a little risky. I think this is a start to them going live, and you could have some unique things to each show. I don't personally think right now in this era that a full brand split is the best way to go, unless the brand split is with new talent and people that are built up and established. You have Orton come back. You have Cena coming back. It'll be very interesting to see where things go, who ends up on what show. So I wanted to ask your opinion. If the WWE does a brand split, who goes where? Not everybody. Just give me your top 3 for each show. If WWE follows through and come July 19th, we have a brand split or maybe a little bit down the line and they do a draft or something like that, who ends up where? Give me your 3 big top stars. Is SmackDown now going to be Randy Orton, Dean Ambrose, and say Roman Reigns, and then Raw is John Cena, Seth Rollins, and somebody else? Or, give me your top 3 guys you would like to see on each show and what they could do or what they could do differently. I would love to know your opinions in the comment section below. Dirty Deeds, Randy Orton is busted wide open as SmackDown and moving to Tuesdays. A lot of things to keep in mind here, guys. Moro, no spoilers, brand split. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to sit back and enjoy. We might be having a good summer of WWE. Thanks, Ardo Cal.